Hello, this is Survival-gyver, and today we're taking a look at the SOG Adventurer LB. So this is just a regular flipper of sorts, and it's a lockback. So it's made by SOG. I had to fiddle with it a little bit in order to get it to open as easily as that. So I'll explain that shortly. So we have a nice little drop point blade. It's a 5CR15 MOV. So it is considerably a corrosion resistant blade, but it is not a high-end blade by any means. This knife goes for about $15 to $20. I bought this one from Tractor Supply for 15 bucks. I see them on Amazon for about 20, so that's interesting. There's also two variations of this. This has a 3-inch blade, and there are some that are 3.5 inch. Yeah, so it's kind of strange because it doesn't really tell you which is which. So this satin finish one is 3 inches with the Nordic blue handle. It's a glass filled nylon, so it's kind of like plastic. There's some of these little, well, it's got like a textured dimple effect to it, so it's not super grippy, but it's also not smooth. You have a little bit of jimping on the back as well, which is actually on the body of the knife, not on the blade itself. It does have dual thumb studs. Right. You'll see there's a little bit of oil residue for the pivot because, well, this thing sounded like somebody was scraping concrete with it prior to me getting it. And it was new out of the package. But again, it is a budget knife, so quality on that is, it'll open. It just won't open one-handed. So you really had to, you couldn't do that earlier. Not one bit. You would get the blade about halfway and then it would stop. And didn't have to loosen anything up, it just needed a little bit of lube. And in which case, I just used the precision oiler from Hoppe's, lubricating Pew Pew oil. So that worked out really well. So all I did is add a couple little drops on the back here, move it back and forth for a little bit, and now it is nice and smooth. See, that time it didn't completely open, but it will. So other than that, it's really, really nice. It has a lanyard hold. It has a pocket clip, which it's not a deep carry by any means, and it's under a lot of tension. Trying to get this onto my pants was actually a real hard time. Even after several days of taking it on and taking it off, it was really difficult. It's just too much tension. So you may want to pry it up a little bit with like a screwdriver or pry bar, something, to loosen it up a little bit. And you may notice that not only does it say SOG on the satin finish on it, it is ambidextrous. You can change it to the opposite side. So that's nice. So whichever way you want it's pointing. Other than that, it's got a pretty nice spine to it. It does have a weird, right about here. I understand that's where the groove is there for that part of where it's grinded, but it just feels weird. It's not smooth and it's not rough. It's kind of just has a weird feeling right about here. Which is right about where that part of it ends. I'm drawing a blank on what you call it. So that is that on that end. Has a lanyard hole. I think I already mentioned it. Wasn't sure. The blade does not sit straight in the middle. It is off to one side. You can see that about there. It's off to this side more, to my right side. But then again, it is a $15 knife, so it doesn't surprise me that it's not perfectly straight. It is very, very sharp, which was nice. It came out pretty sharp. There is no flex, really. No, I'm pulling this pretty hard. No flex in it. Just in case you want to know what the LB stands for, it's a lockback. When I bought it, I didn't notice it. I was like, ooh, That would be a nice liner lock. And granted, this was visible, but I'm getting over some bronchitis, so I'm not the most alert person at the moment. But yeah, it's a lock back, which is fine, but I'm not a big fan of them. I would prefer a liner lock where I could just simply close this with one hand. You can still close a liner back with one hand, but it's really difficult, in which case I'm not going to do that. But other than that, it's a nice, cheap, budget knife. These come in various colors. There's this satin blade finish with 3 and 3.5 inch lengths. So for those people that size matters, you may want to get the larger one. They come in a black finish or this silver satin finish. And it weighs really light. It's about I'm trying to read my notes. It looks like 2.1 ounces on the scale. So yeah, it's actually pretty light. Now, when I check this specific part number, it comes up as a 3.5 inch blade. When I measure it with a ruler, it's a 3-inch blade. So I'm not sure about why there's a difference there. Obviously, I'm measuring cutting length. Maybe they expect the blade to go back more than that, so that doesn't look like a 1/2 inch to me, but I could be wrong. But other than that, cheap budget blade. It's comfortable to handle, fits in your hand really well. Got a little bit of jimping on the back, and because it's a lock back, it's not going to simply just close in your hand. So for what it is and a little bit of lube, it is a great little knife. That is it. Any questions or comments, leave them below and I will answer them as soon as I can. This comes in this Nordic blue, there's a blaze orange, there's a purple color that kind of looks like prunes, like that dark purple color. Comes in black. I think there's a silver one. I've seen pictures of one that looks similar to this, but I don't know if it's the Adventurer LB. I couldn't find that information out. Now, according to SOG's website, it is deep carry. I suppose it is, but it still sits up pretty high in my pocket, so I don't know about that one. Maybe just what I consider deep carry compared to what they do. But that is it. So thank you for watching. Questions or comments, leave them below. I'm finally going to get back in the swing of things because I've been sick. This is made in China, which 99% of the budget knives are. But for a simple light-duty knife, this would be fine. I use this to cut webbing, open up boxes, cut zip ties, cut coupons on newspaper. It's a light-duty knife. I wouldn't try to take over a third world country with it. I suppose you could if you absolutely had to, but I wouldn't rely on it. But that is it. So thank you for watching. If you like this, please press like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. There's more coming down the pike here. And that is it. Thank you for watching, and have a glorious day.